What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Let's Talk. I know I haven't done one of these in a while. I've been meaning to, but you know how life gets with everything going on and stuff like that. But I got through Mortal Kombat 11's Aftermath expansion, and I thought I'd do a little Let's Talk about that. So let's jump into it. So the Aftermath expansion is basically just the expansion of the actual story. It's another piece to Mortal Kombat 11 story. And if you know anything about me, and I loved Mortal Kombat 11's initial story, I thought it was done very well, and I enjoyed all the little nods that it had, especially as to me it served as kind of like a soft reboot for the series. So I was always a fan of that original story mode in Mortal Kombat 11. And for Aftermath, they do kind of like a epilogue, so to speak, for that actual story. And I'm not going to go into that because that's like spoiler territory. But if you notice from the trailers, you know Shang Tsung is now back. And I think one of the things that I liked most about this expansion was the fact that some of the players from the actual DLC pack show up in the expansion story, so you actually get to utilize them. Now, if you didn't buy any of the expansions, you can only use them in that story. So characters like Nightwolf, Sindel, those are two of the main ones that like are in previous packs in the previous pack. And if you didn't buy those or you didn't get that, you'll be able to play with them, but only during the story. So just keep that in mind. But I like the story overall. It gets a little weird and crazy. And like I said, I know I've said this before on the Winging It podcast, but if you can't tell that Shang Tsung is evil from the moment he comes onto the scene, like he is chewing up so much scenery. And I like the fact that they got Kerry, I can't say his whole name, Kerry Tagawa, to actually play him. He's the guy who played Shang Tsung in the original Mortal Kombat movie. And had him come back and do the voice, and you could tell he's enjoying himself. The story I thought was good. It does get a little off the rails crazy a little bit, and I don't like what they did with Sindel, because it contradicts what came before. But I thought overall they did a good job. Now the new characters of Fujin, Shiva, and Robocop, these are the new characters that came with the Aftermath. I like Fujin. I like Robocop. I don't really care for Shiva all that much, but I thought all three of them were actually not bad. The other thing that comes with the Aftermath is the actual friendships and the stage fatalities. They make a comeback. You also get a couple extra stages that I thought were actually pretty cool. And that's pretty much all. It's really like a short. It's not like a long story. It's not exactly short either, but it's kind of on the medium side. But like I said, I like the good things that I liked was the story. I liked some of the characters, especially Fujin. He's probably my favorite out of the three. And I like the fact that they brought back stage fatalities as well as friendships. Now the bad part of this expansion has to do with the pricing of it. I think that if anybody has seen the pricing, it kind of makes no sense if you've already bought the game. If you've already bought the game, it makes no sense the way they got this pricing structure set up, and it's really confusing. So I'm not going to go into it now. I just thought it was a little odd how they had it set up, but it is what it is. If you haven't bought the game, it's better, in my opinion, for you to buy the expansion how they have it. So it's just one of the things that it is. Other than that, outside of the weirdness at times of the story when it kind of goes a little bit off the rails a little bit, there wasn't much to hate about the expansion. I thought they did a very good job on it. And outside of the pricing, which is the only real thing I can't really complain about without it being nitpicking, I thought they did a good job. I can't deny that. I think they did an excellent job on it. I got to give NetherRealm Studios props for that, because they haven't really. Well, I think you can call Street Fighter 5. No, you can't really call that an expansion because they were supposed to put it in. They just never did. But this is a true actual expansion for a fighting game, and I got to give them props for that. So my final thoughts, I had a lot of fun with it. The story is nuts, but it's nuts in a fun way. It's not nuts in a cringy way. I like the new characters, like the stage, like return to stage fatalities. Uh, and as it stands now, for me personally, I think you should probably wait for a sale if you haven't gotten it, because I don't think it takes away from the game. But that pricing structure is just weird. So I have to, if I'm being completely honest with people, I'll have to say that you probably should wait for it to go on sale, because that pricing structure is really messed up. But other than that, I think that it's actually a good expansion for those who play through the story and enjoy the story. The characters I thought were, like I said, were pretty good. I like Fujin. I like Robocop. I don't really care for Shiva, but then again, I've never really liked the Goro type characters. I've never really liked them, but Fujin is still the homie. He still has a great move set. I hope, if I do have one hope, I kind of hope that they would go back to do like some of those like Mortal Kombat Mythologies type games, like Shaolin Monks and Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, and just do one for Fujin, just because I like those Mortal Kombat Mythology games. I don't know why they stopped doing those, but I would love for them to go back to that, because they make a couple of points in the Aftermath story, especially when you get to Fujin's chapter about like Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. You have to have played the game to catch the Easter eggs. I mean, and that's another thing too. They do have a lot of Easter eggs in there, so be prepared for that. So, what did you think about the Aftermath expansion? Leave a comment, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments. And I'll see you guys on the next Let's Talk. Peace out, peeps.